our next guest, who is going to be one of the stars, hopefully, for the Collingwood Football Club. What a season Jeremy Howe has had. One of the team leaders, absolutely helps run that back line alongside Darcy Moore. In round one, he broke his arm so severely, at times it looked like he may not even play again. It's great to have him on Footy Classified. Welcome to the show, Jeremy Howe. Jeremy, were there fears at any stage in your mind that you would not be here for a grand final or even playing footy again at that stage?
Yeah, it definitely crossed my mind, Ed. I think it was certainly the most challenging, I suppose, injury and time frame in my career. That's for sure. I think when you're kind of laying in that hospital bed for the best part of 2 and a bit weeks, perspective played a bit of a role. And yeah, I suppose I just laying there on my own. I was thinking a lot, which is for me is probably not a good thing. But fortunate enough to have a pretty good turnaround in the end, and it's quite remarkable to think that I was able to get back and play any footy at all. But for us to be playing off in the last game of the year is truly impressive, and I'm super stoked to be a part of it.
It was unbelievable, Jeremy. I mean, your bravery to be able to get over that injury. Even now, you still don't have full feeling in your hand, I understand. But you seem to have just got your mind right. You're flying for your marks. You're doing everything. You're hitting the ground, rolling through, all those things. How much of a mental preparation went into being able to come back, far less the physical side of things?
Yeah, I think even because it was such a traumatic incident, there's definitely the mental side of the recovery process. I felt like I was healing quite significantly quickly, and everything was kind of going really well. But until you kind of throw yourself back in the thick of it, I know our rehab guys put me through an amazing program to make sure I was match fit and to get ready. And until you're in those moments and competing against other teams and other competitors, you're not too sure how you're going to hold up. And I think the first game against Adelaide, I got through on pure adrenaline. I think I said that before. And the second game, I got subbed out at halftime purely as a management type setup. And then I feel like now my body's kind of got back. It's match hardened. It's been 10 or 11 games now, and I feel like I'm fit. Kind of probably what I felt like when I was going into round one, to be honest. And you just don't plan to get injured in the first game. So the body's in a good place. Mentally, I'm feeling quite refreshed, which is nice at this time of year, and really excited to get out there on Saturday.
Howie, just one more on that. Was there a moment or an incident that you got through and you went, everything's going to be okay? Was it a training when you took a specky on the big bag? Was it in a game you flew in a big contest and you come down and went, no, I'm good?
Yeah, I suppose there's a few things you want to tick off to kind of make sure that you get the confidence in and your ability to do things that you normally do. And there was a couple of episodes on the jump bag. Funnily enough, the game against Gold Coast, I actually made a similar play in the middle of the ground and jumped over, I think it was Ainsworth, and flipped upside down, but managed to body roll out of that like I probably should have done in the first game. But there's little milestones like that you tick off to say that I want to be upside down and a couple of metres up again. I'm probably not going to put myself in that scenario. But, yeah, look, I feel like I've ticked everything off, and that was really important to kind of get back to where I am now. And, yeah, hopefully the injuries are behind me.
Jeremy, you're such a tight bunch of people and players. How tough is it to watch what Taylor Adams has gone through in the past month? And equally, with Billy Frampton getting the nod officially today via Craig McRae declaring that, the players that equally missed out?
Yeah, it's really challenging, Damo. It's he's one of our spiritual leaders. The way that he acts on field, especially at this time of year, he seems to thrive when the games get really hard and ultra competitive. That's generally what he does best. And he's a really close mate of mine as well. And he's always supported me through thick and thin and been there every time I've needed him. And I feel like he can rely on us to give him that support back. But it's really hard to see him get his body through the whole season and unfortunately just not quite be able to finish it off for the last game of the year. And I know he's going to be there and support us. He's going to do whatever is required to help us hopefully get over the line on Saturday. And what that does present is an opportunity in Billy Frampton, who he's one of those players where the hard conversations happen, or the ones where you just got to stay ready and not sure when an opportunity is going to come. And we've all had those conversations, and until they actually arise, you probably don't believe that they're going to come. And fortunate enough for him, it's come and he's ready. I'm really pleased for him. He's putting him out in the work in. He's prepared as well as any, and I really look forward to what will be his first final, and what a way to start that campaign.
Jeremy, I know for me, like the 99 prelim and the 2001 grand final we lost, I have so many times, even as the years and the decades go on, and I think of what ifs. What about those moments for you over the years? The previous grand final you played in, the what ifs for that, and now you get another opportunity. Have you had many of those moments over the years?
Oh, for me, Lloyd, it was probably 2018 feels like a lifetime ago, but also I can reflect pretty easily on that last quarter, and felt it was a little bit different with that. With the 2018, I felt like the damn walls were almost going to break there for a good hour. I think we're hanging on for dear life, and we're probably lucky to get within the 4 points, to be honest. But that, again, it could have gone either way. But the 2019 prelim was one that probably really stung. I think we managed to string together maybe 20 minutes of good footy, and we almost got over the line against the Giants. And yeah, watching the grand final lead up that week, that really hurt. I found that really difficult. And then 2022 last year against Sydney, I think that game felt like it was almost slipping away a little bit, and we managed to find a way in typical fashion to try and come back, and almost stole it in the end. And again, the prelim week leading into Granny is probably the most challenging. I think when you're in it, it's great, but when you get so close and then have to watch the build up to the grand final, I'll probably find that the most challenging. And thankfully, I'll be a part of it and not watching this time.
So what's the coach's message been like this week? You mentioned last year, yeah, big build-up, big finals, but now you're into the granny. He's got all sorts of experience as a player. What's his message been to you guys?
Yeah, he's been keeping pretty calm, Fly. I think Leper's more than happy to share his premiership success with Fly. Yeah, look, I think the good thing about Fly is to stay in present to what it is such a big build-up for everyone that's involved, the club, the fans, everyone, even the whole footy community. But for us, it's to stay present and enjoy it, take it in. Like, I know tomorrow there's potentially going to be 10,000 fans watching us train. Like, train with a smile on your face, make the most of it, because you understand that these opportunities don't come around that often. I think, 2018 came around for me. I was 28 at the time, and you're probably thinking, oh yeah, sweet, got a taste. It'll come around again shortly, and it's been 5 years, and I'm incredibly grateful that it's only been 5. But yeah, I think it's just take it all in, enjoy it, and I'm really happy because the family fly in tomorrow to share the experience, and hopefully can go all the way this year.
Jeremy, I'm not going to ask you specifically, where you're going to play on the weekend, because you're not going to give me the answer anyway. But what we've learnt in the last couple of weeks with Craig McRae has been very strident in saying is how you train for particular moments. Last week, trained for that last 2.5 minutes. Coming into the last couple of games of the season, Craig McRae played you forward, left you forward, even at times where everyone knew maybe it was time to bring you back into the back line. He just wanted to see how things go. So my question to you is, having gone to the forward line, obviously you've been playing in the back line. You actually came to Collingwood to play in the forward line. Sorry about that, mate. But having the training and the sort of mental preparation to be able to do these things, it must just make you very confident to be able to take on any aspect of a game if, in fact, you have to go forward this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Fly came and had a conversation with me. I think we had a few more home and away games to go to round out the season, and we're pretty open to trial a few things, whether it was, for me to go forward at times if, we potentially needed a scoring opportunity or another avenue to score. We've trialled a few guys in a couple of different roles as well, and I was more than happy to do that, and I felt like, it was effective in time frames throughout those games. And I guess that's kind of something that we can go to if we feel like we're a little bit stagnant up there, or, it's probably something that we looked at, we felt like it worked at times. So it's just a tactic that we could potentially use, and hopefully we don't have to. And I might stay behind the ball for a little bit longer. But yeah, look, it's one of those ones that we've kind of got there if we need to pull the trigger on. And for me, yeah, I guess I hadn't been down in the forward line for quite some time, and I probably just had to be open ears to Jamie Elliott, and he just put me where he needed me, and he was super helpful. Yeah, look, it was. I don't mind doing it either end. I'm certainly a bit more comfortable behind the ball, but more than happy to kick a goal if I have to.
So what will you be on alert for, especially early in the game from Brisbane then?
Yeah, I feel like for us, they've got such offensive weapons, especially down in the forward line, and they've got some weapons in the midfield as well. To be honest, they're a highly talented team. I think even Lepper was saying that as well, but we feel like our game stacks up. It's just that they've probably been real high-scoring affairs at times, which is something that we're probably not used to. But yeah, I think the ground, especially, I know a lot of people don't really talk about it a lot, but it's certainly, we play that as good as any. And yeah, I feel like we're going to have to be really strong, and I feel like we can challenge them with our ball movement on the G.
Do you feel like you need to kick more goals to win this game than you've got by with the first two finals, Jeremy? Like you've won kicking 8 and 9 goals. That against Brisbane, you'll have to kick 12 or 13 to win this. Yeah,
you're probably right, Lloydie. I think they score, probably the best in the comp, to be honest. So we understand that, if it's very unlikely that 8 or 9 goals potentially might not win it. But if we get our offence going, we've got no issues in scoring as well. So we can score in a hurry. But also at this time of year, as long as you're getting the win, it's probably that's probably the most important thing, to be honest. But if it's a low-scoring grudge match and we're on the right side of it, I couldn't care less.
Is the heat an actual discussion point? End of first quarter, if you've got the ball, do you possess it a little bit at the end of the first quarter or coming into the half because of the weather conditions?
Probably hard to project how we're going to feel until we're in the thick of it. I think we've got a mature enough group to be able to sort that out as we're kind of going along. I feel like under fatigue, we generally try and slow it up anyway. I think the way that we play is quite manic, and our pressure and that just goes through the roof, and it's hard to sustain for a whole game. It'd be nice to be able to play full throttle offence and defence the whole time. But yeah, I think it's going to be 28 degrees or something like that, something that we wouldn't have played in pretty much for 6 months. So our high performance manager always says we love the heat, and then when it's cold, we love the cold. So we're more than happy to play in whatever.
Jeremy, thanks for joining us, mate. I remember the first time we had a chat when you came to Collingwood, you told me as a boy down in Tasmania you dreamt of winning a premiership for the Magpies on the MCG. Gee, I hope your dream comes true on Saturday, buddy.
As do I, Ed. Thank you.
Good on you, mate. Thanks, Jeremy. Jeremy Howe, who will be playing probably at both ends for the Pies on the weekend.